Yo, this is Funtcase, and you're locked into the absolute GOAT I Want EDM.
Hi, everybody. My name is Noah, and I'm here with I Want EDM. And today I am speaking to the absolute dubstep legend, Funtcase.
Hello.
I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so ready to pick your brains a little bit on literally everything. First thing I wanted to address is your new EP. Congrats.
Thank you.
Job for a DJ has received a really great response. So,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about the concept for the EP and what messages do you want fans to take away from it? Just a little bit about the process of that.
I would say it's just it's kind of out of all the ideas I've been writing recently, it's kind of the best of the best out of the lot, which is a typical way of writing an EP. But when I finished it, because every EP I like to do is like two or three dubstep tracks, something musical dubstep, and then something a bit more like drum and bass or house or something. I like to spread my wings a bit when it comes to an EP, so I can kind of showcase a bit more that I'm just a dubstep artist, if that makes sense. So same as I've done with all my previous EPs, did 5 tracks, and then I was trying to think of an EP name, and I was like going through all these like just really typical boring EP names, and I was listening to my favorite, um, one of my favorite albums EPs from a band called Job for a Cowboy, hence why it's called Job for a DJ, and it's actually a really insanely well-known album by a lot of metal fans, and it's got a really iconic cover when it's like the artwork of the guy who's got an apple for a head and he's doing this with the shirt. So he's
Mm-hmm.
doing that, but while wearing a goat head. So I was like, why don't I just remake that but with the front case mask and just yeah, see if it gets noticed. And yeah, it got a lot of notice. So yeah, cool. That's 10 out of 10 branding from Funtcase right there.
Yeah, that's great. And is that something that you thought about originally, like all by yourself, or was that like process with a team?
Yeah, no, so it just come out of nowhere. I just thought it would be great to remake the cover. I didn't even think about calling the EP Job for a DJ at the time. I was actually going to call it Job for a Dubstep DJ, but it's kind of too long
Mm-hmm.
because obviously cowboy is a longer word, DJ is a shorter word. And in terms of artwork, Dubstep DJ makes more sense because of how big the logo would have been at the bottom. But Job for a DJ just hit better. So yeah,
What do you think was the most challenging track for you to produce?
I would probably say they're all pretty easy to be fair. I think probably Keep On Rocking, the fifth track, the drum and bass track, because that
Mhm.
track I actually wrote in 2000 and I'm gonna say 12 or 14 or something. It's
Oh,
it's a very
wow.
old track. And it's actually a really well-known D&B track, which not a lot of people realize that I wrote because there was a D&B legend called DJ Hazard, who played it for about 8 years straight, and no one knew who who wrote the track, and he never told anyone. So, and I only gave it to him, and he told me to just leave it just for him. So, for years he was playing this dub plate, and no one knew who it was. And then yeah, I decided to put it on my EP. But I'd already had like interest from record labels about 4 or 5 years ago for that track, and I just didn't finish it and get it out. So, I just thought it needs to come out, doesn't it? Really? So why not?
Yeah, it did need to come out, and I'm very glad you released it because that is a
Yeah.
banger. Moving on, many producers get inspired by other artists. So, what advice would you give to other starting producers who look up to you, people who are trying to develop their own sound?
I would say stick to your craft and do what you do, and try not to worry about what other people are doing. And also be patient. Patience is the biggest factor in being a music producer because it could happen in a week and your career could blow up, or it could take 10 years. You never know. If you really want it, you just kind of have to stick to it. I myself actually was doing drum and bass for about 4 or 5 years before I started Funtcase, and I just wasn't getting anywhere with it really. So it can just it can just happen out of nowhere, and it can be quick or not so quick. So just keep at it, and try and stay true to yourself. It's very easy to try and make a sound that you think will get you blown up faster. I think you'll find your best audience, your more cult following, if you stick to what you do and what you want to be, rather than I need to get up quicker by writing an angry tear out stompy bootleg of like Ellie Goulding or something, and it's because you're doing it because you want to be known quicker, but it's not quite you. So sometimes you can compromise, but I would say stick to what you do, and yeah, stay true to yourself.
All right, so with DPMO, you love showcasing up and coming talent. So, how does mentoring or just working with new artists, how does that impact your own creative process? How has that changed the way that you create?
For me, it's interesting because there's so much. insane young talent out there, new talent as well. Doesn't I mean it's not even young, it's just new talent, but there's so many different people writing so many different things in such new creative ways that being around it has kind of just given me a lot to think about in terms of how I like to promote myself, what I want to do in this day and age, because I've been around for so long and it's so easy for me to um, stick to what I do and be comfortable. But I kind of just want to learn from. It's interesting because I'm someone who's been around for such a long time, but I like to learn from even the newer kids who are doing such unique ways of producing. And I'm in Discord calls with them for like 6 hours, learning what they're doing, just as much as they're learning about branding from me or how to promote themselves or anything like that. So I think it's an ever learning thing to be a producer, to be honest. So you have someone who can teach and mentor you. I like to do that for the guys on my label. I do that for guys not on my label, but if guys on my label need information or if they need to have a call with me and ask me some questions, I'm always down to do it. I'm like the dad to the scene at this point. I'm dad Funtcase. I want to help everybody.
So, from playing local UK shows to huge US festivals, has there been a show or a set that just holds like a special spot in your heart?
I'll probably say the oh, there's a few. I would say probably the audiovisual set from Rampage in 2019 when I revealed this new mask, because it was the first time I'd promoted my own audiovisual set. Um, and tied with that is probably my 2019 Lost Land set where I performed Without in the Rain with Danny Poppet. And that one's special to me, not only because it was a special set, because I was worried about the rain making people leave, and everyone
Yeah.
stayed, and it made me happy. But also, it was the last set Cookie watched me ever play. So yeah, so it's
Wow.
got a special place in my heart. He even texted me about how beautiful the set was, and he's never ever said that
Oh my
once in my
God.
life. So it holds a special place there.
And then speaking of job for a DJ, if you weren't a DJ, what job would you want? Dream job.
I've always wanted to be a game designer or a
Ooh.
game creator of some sort, like just anything to do with games. I've always been a huge gamer since since I was little. Really, got a Super Nintendo when I was like maybe like 6 or something. I've just been obsessed with gaming ever since then. I did actually try before Funcase. I did actually try to take an apprenticeship. Yeah, internship. Yeah, so I was trying to take an internship actually with a college to do gaming, to do like game design, and the course I tried to get in was last minute full. So they gave me the equivalent, and they put me in a job answering phones and folding paper. I'm literally so butthurt, dude. But like the thing is, it's like it's almost like everything has led up to me being front case. It's almost like a I don't really believe in luck or destiny or anything like that, but it almost feels like everything was meant to bring me to this moment. Like just before front case, I lost my job, became I had to move back to my mum's house because I had no money. Then I spent all my time making music and became front case through it. It's like all these doors closed and just like the front case door opened. So yeah.
So you've mentioned that you'd 1v1 anyone who comes to your shows. Also, you 1v1 people who don't listen to your EP. Has anyone actually tried to fight you, or has anyone tried to take you up on that offer?
They've People have not DM'd me, but people have like quote tweeted it saying like I've listened to it, but can we 1v1 anyway? I don't think anyone's like seriously tried to fight me, but hey, I'm down. I'm not trying to have people miss my EP. That's what I'm saying.
Some fans may recognize that you're a big Instagram Reels and meme fan. First, I was just wondering what your screen time was looking like on Reels because we liking
Oh,
and commenting on so many memes.
I don't think my screen time's too high. It's like a on the toilet thing. If
Okay.
you want the actual information,
Oh yeah, I do.
it's a pooping thing. That's all it is. It's like
Okay, perfect.
I don't sit like on my couch like for like 16 hours a day just going through reels and just commenting. Like it became like a fun thing to do the commenting, but people have started noticing that I comment on reels that either are already big or getting big, and I've got it quite early. So I don't know, it's just become a thing, and yeah, I just find it funny. AT Aliens do the same thing actually. If you haven't noticed, I was sitting with one of AT Aliens, and we were just going through reels and showing each other reels for like an hour backstage. So yeah, who knew aliens like reels?
If you could go B2B with any artist, dead or alive, literally any musical artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I've always wanted to go production back to back. I've always wanted to make a tune with Noisier on
Okay.
stage. It would probably be it would probably be Skrillex, honestly. Like he can hang musically and he's got energy. Like he's pretty much like the complete artist in my eyes. So I think
Yeah.
he would be a sick back to back, honestly.
Like, just looking back, was there a defining moment when you realized that music would be a career more than just a hobby or something you were passionate about?
Well, there was an actual moment where it did happen, and that was when me and Dr. P used to be drum and bass artists together before we were Funtcase and Dr. P, and we used to just randomly talk every now and again, but not talk too much, and we'd sometimes change music. We didn't really like know each other that well. We just kind of it was AOL Messenger, basically AIM. So like everyone talked to everyone on AIM, but no one really knew each other, kind of thing. And we just kind of briefly talked, and then one day he hit me up and was like, "Hey, I've been writing dubstep. Do you want to listen to it?" And I was like, "That's really weird. I've literally just started writing dubstep for no reason." And we changed music, and about maybe 4 or 5 months went by, and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting a record label called Circus Records. Do you want to be on it? I'd love to sign one of these tracks." And then when I got signed to Circus, he was like, "Oh, by the way, we've got a guy who can now be your agent." I was like, "I've got an agent? What?" And then like 2 months later, I had a manager, and it was like everything just happened all at once. It was one big crash of like, holy shit, I have a DJ career. This is a thing. And yeah, I mean, I was still DJing while I was working a job, but it didn't last for very long. Honestly, it was because when I started doing DJing, I was earning like almost no money, like $200 a show or something like. So yeah, I wasn't really playing that many shows, but I was just getting my name in the scene. So yeah, that was literally the moment was when I got the agent, the label, and the manager and everything. So yeah,
That's awesome. That must have felt amazing.
it's a strange life, man. Being a DJ
Yeah,
is weird.
yeah, I'm
It's
sure
weird
it
being a
is.
DJ. It's the most like it's something you'll never get used to. Like even DJs who've been around for like 30 years, if someone comes up to you and says like your music literally changed my life. Like people have said to me like they've stopped like unaliving themselves because of my music. And I'm like, are you what? How the fuck? Like, and it's so like heartwarming to know that exists, you know? So
Yeah.
like that sort of stuff never, ever, ever, ever gets old. So that's why I still love what I do.
And last question for you, moving forward for your fans or anybody who's interested, do you have anything exciting coming up in the future?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of shows coming up with supporting for AC Aliens. So that'll be Instagram Reels backstage again. um, yeah, just I mean the EP's out right now. I think I'm probably writing the most amount of music I've ever written. So right now I'm just the next EP's on the way, you know, and there's more music coming, more collabs. So there's nothing really specifically I'm kind of working towards. It's more just like more releases, more tracks. And just yeah, keep at it. Really, that's just it. I want to keep a steady flow of music now, you know, because
Awesome.
I've in the past I've kind of been a bit scatty with music releases because I've always been overthinking my music, and I've come to a realization that I can just finish music and just move on rather than spend months on one track like unnecessarily. So yeah, I'm in a good spot right now musically, so that's going to reflect in the next year.